the actual delta.
Yes.
And there's a sign of things that happened only a few weeks ago. These things look like they've been there forever, but 4 weeks ago, life was quite normal there, wasn't it? So it really did hit them like a bomb, didn't it? It
did. Their livelihood, most of this area, the livelihood of the people is fishing. And so with their boats gone, their nets gone, that's their source of income and everything's gone.
What are we seeing here?
These are the dead bodies that are along the way. And this is only half an hour from that main port town.
Right. So dead animals.
Dead animals.
Dead humans.
Humans.
And as you said, this water
debris.
is the people's livelihood, so pretty smartly it became contaminated.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So people were actually probably bathing in, washing in, cooking in the same water.
Drinking the water. The kids play in the water.
Right. No choice, really, is there?
No.
So they either had no water at all or drinking from contaminated water,
yes.
which would lead to disease,
yes.
and so on goes the problem. It's like a horrible snowball. Where are we here now?
This is the Karenna village that we visited. This is
one of the villages in the Delta?
Yes, in the Delta. That can only be reached by boat.
Right.
And this is the first time they've received aid since the cyclone.
Right. I guess what I'm wondering again is why were your group able to come and do this obviously good work when for 3 weeks the military government were refusing entry by international agencies? What was the difference between your relationship with them and the international agencies from the UN, etc.?
Our group, the 3 groups that we're working with, they're all local. So the Adventist Relief Aid group, they were already there. A lot of their team were caught in the cyclone, and so they were there on the ground straight away and able to help. Because they were locals, of course this gave them access to these areas. And also our missions organisation, Asian Tribal Ministries, and the Karen Peace Council, all locals that have been working in this area for the last couple of years.
So as you said earlier, you had this special relationship with the junta that other people haven't had.
Yes.
This village here, how many people were there, do you know? How many families?
I can't say how many people, but there were 70 houses.
So probably only 300 or 400 people?
Yes.
How many now?
Now there's 12, only 12 survivors left.
And all of them men?
All of them men except for one woman.
One woman? Kids?
No kids, no any other women. They all, they didn't survive.
And this, of course, is just one village, one example. There must be...
This is only one village.
Who knows how many others in the area?
That's right. This is only one village, and this is the closest one. So you can imagine, for them, it's easier to get back to the mainland. They're repairing some of their boats. But for those who are deep inside, who have nothing, no one's reached them at all.
Right.
No one even knows what it looks like in there. And
you talk to the survivors, of course, I imagine, about what might have happened to them, what their stories might have been.
We asked them to share about what happened and their situation and how they feel.
Were they still shocked, or was it easy enough to get them to talk about what had happened?
They want to talk, but I think they just can't describe it. They want to talk, but they're shocked.
Right.
A woman, she just told us how there's only one house left, and they all share the same room, and there's no mosquito nets, nothing there. The only thing that they eat are crabs and little fish. And she lost her 2 cousins. The water rose and they got swept away. All the children gone. And the first night she shared with us how the first three nights after the cyclone, you could hear screams of survivors out in the fields and in the water, still alive, screaming out for help, but obviously wounded or too weak to injured to be able to get out of it. And they were screaming for help, but there's nothing that anyone can do. And
I imagine 26 days later, there's not much likelihood of many people surviving out there.
That's the reality of it.
So it's really what happens now in that particular part of the Delta is a clean-up exercise, isn't it?
That's right.
Yep. I should thank you for giving us that footage to show people, but these photographs that you showed me earlier are interesting. These are they're almost happy snaps with members of the military junta. That man is a quite senior military official, isn't he?
Yes.
Speaking there with one of the Karen leaders, you told me. And this is what I think people would find amazing, because the rest of us have been wondering what the heck is going on in Burma that they won't let the UN or other aid agencies in, but your religious groups were able to. Is it because you didn't pose a threat or what?
Well, yeah, because we're local. We're already in there.
And you had locals working with you. You weren't bringing in teams of outsiders from other countries.
That's right.
Yep. So what do you think is happening now then? Because they do appear to be softening their stance. Today we hear that 6 UNICEF people are able to get in.
Yes.
And Sans Frontières are getting in now. So they're finally waking up to the fact that the world is expecting them to let people in.
Yes, they're starting to let people in. because I believe that we've been able to also help convince them and encourage them that the world genuinely wants to help and is not trying to come in and take over and take advantage of the situation.
You've got a relationship with them, and the rest of us see them as paranoid, we see them as undemocratic, we see them as totally ignoring human rights and the like. Do you think the world maybe has approached the junta in Burma incorrectly, and therefore they've not been able to help the way they'd like to because the junta has this attitude towards them that they're there to take over the country?
I believe in this situation, yes. I think that the only way to be able to work together with the government, which is what we have to do, we have to work together with the government.
Whether we like them or not.
Yes, because it's about the people. Right now it's not about politics, it's not about whatever their government is, it's about helping the people. And so the international community should have an attitude of coming alongside them and encouraging them, which will soften their attitude. I think it's a lot to do with past relationship between the Burmese government and the international community has not been a positive one. And so you can't just suddenly say, well, yesterday, this is what I thought of you, and today this is what I'm going to think of you. You can't do that. It has to have some process of time and gaining of trust to be able to have that sort of relationship. But it will start only when there's encouragement. Encouragement, for the sake of helping the people, will help to get that started.
Browbeating and criticism, endless criticism, you think is possibly going to have the opposite effect?
Yes, it is.
They're likely to dig their toes in and refuse to accept help.
I believe that's the reason why they're not accepting help.
Look, I'll let you go because you're looking tired and you deserve a rest. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lovely meeting you. And you going back?
Yes.
I thought you'd say that.
Next week.
Thanks, Karenna. She's only 20, by the way. There are more images from Karenna's journey on our website, sbs.com.au/dateline. And yesterday, the Generals extended the term of Aung San Suu Kyi's house arrest by another year.